Welcome in to this mailbag edition of the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. You got questions. You're in luck because I got answers as we react to all things Kansas City Chiefs as we now know that the Chiefs have clinched home field advantage in the AFC. Their starters will get about 2.5 weeks off before we see them on the field again in the divisional round. Let's react and share our thoughts to everything with the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll go over that in just a matter of moments. Before we do, if you enjoyed the Chiefs win over the Steelers, spam W. I want to see at least 300 W's in the comments section. Let your voice be heard loud and clear. Let's get the W's going. How about those Chiefs? Spam W in the comments section. We'll get started with today's show. Mike writes in with the number one seed locked up next week. We basically will be playing a preseason game. Thoughts? 100%. That's what it is. I said that earlier. It is a preseason game against Denver. And Denver very well could be playing for their playoff lives. So the Broncos are going to be very thankful to be facing the Chiefs JV team. But don't think that just because the Chiefs would be playing their backups that their guys aren't going to go hard. It's a big opportunity. Carson Wentz, I said this a while back. The small sample size we've seen of Carson Wentz in the preseason and then filling in the Browns game, I think Carson Wentz right now has played well enough that somebody's going to sign him with a chance to compete for a starting job next year. If he goes out and plays well against the Denver Broncos, then it's a foregone conclusion that Carson Wentz is going to get a chance to contend for a starting job next year. So even with that said, there's still, I think, a lot on the line for the Chiefs that they get the chance to go out there, prove themselves. I'm curious what they do about Hollywood, if he'll play to continue to get him reps or if they'll sit him out. But, yes, it is a preseason game, but don't think that this team's going to take it lightly by any stretch. Big Red writes, who is the Chiefs' biggest threat in the AFC? I mean, it's still the Buffalo Bills, but here's the caveat I would say, folks, is that from what we've seen from the Chiefs to finish off the regular season, these last 3 weeks, this is the team we've been waiting to see all year long, right? I've been telling you, their best football is in front of them. The great news for the Kansas City Chiefs is that they've arrived, that they have put the rest of the NFL on notice. Early in the year, they're squeaking by. They're barely winning games. And then you fast forward to now, they're winning games on the road in convincing fashion, right? Before they were still winning. Now they're winning in convincing fashion. And the receiving core looks solidified now. The defense is dominating teams. Yes, the Bills are technically the biggest threat, but the biggest thing standing in the Kansas City Chiefs' way is themselves. I think as long as the Chiefs do what they do, there's no reason why they shouldn't be hoisting the Lombardi Trophy once again. Who is the Chiefs' biggest threat in the AFC? Do you agree with me that it is Buffalo, or is it somebody else? Well, in the comments section, let us know who you think the Chiefs' biggest threat is. Today's show is sponsored by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the place to go for daily fantasy made easy. Here's how it works. Choose 2 or more players in any given category. Get the choice of more or less, whether you're talking fantasy points in football, rebounds in basketball, goals in hockey, all sorts of different categories to choose from. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS, promo code CLNS, and you're going to win up to 1,000 times your money on Prize Picks, folks. And that's not all. You can get $50 to play for free when you spend $5. You don't even have to win to get the money. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS, promo code CLNS. This week, I won big on Prize Picks. I went Kelce with the more, half a rushing or receiving touchdown. I went Joker with more than half a point, took advantage of that free square, and it paid off bigly. Play along with me. PrizePicks.com/CLNS, promo code CLNS. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. Prize Picks, proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Glad to have him on board here on today's show. Anthony, Tony the Tiger, you name it, he's him. Tony writes in, hashtag Chiefs. I don't know, Tyler. They continue to doubt us. They continue to hate us. They continue to disrespect us. But like you told me, good teams find a way to win if they continue to do good. Yeah. You know, and I'll say this too. It's a popular thing to go after the team that's on top. Everybody wants to be the guy that predicted the downfall. Everybody wants to be the one that says, I told you this was going to happen. Everybody is rooting for the demise of the Kansas City Chiefs. It's the Chiefs versus everybody. And the naysayers tried telling us this was the year. This was the year. And I said, be patient. Be patient. The time is coming. I mean, and you think about this too. Of what they've done in these last 3 games. The Browns weren't a very good team, but you won by double digits on the road and you held them to 7 points and 6 turnovers. Good win. You beat the Texans by 8. You scored 27 points. A game that you basically led from start to finish pretty much. That game was never in doubt. And then the Steelers game was a convincing win against a playoff team on the road on a short week. What more do you want from this team? Realistically speaking, with where this Chiefs team is at right now, what more are we looking for? The defense is there. The run game, we know, can be good. Hasn't been as great as of late, but we know what they're capable of. The passing game's figured it out. The offensive line is playing better. What more do you want? This team's in good shape. Goaty Mahomes, writing in, tell us who you believe is the MVP of the Chiefs season. It's a very good question. You know, I got to say, it sounds like the cop-out answer. It's got to be Patrick still, right? Maybe he's not the MVP of the league, but even when this team wasn't playing their best, Mahomes was still finding ways, still getting it done. And now the offense is right there. The offense is exactly what we've been looking for, what we need to see. And Mahomes hasn't wavered. Mahomes hasn't changed. He's gotten better as the season's gone along, but he's still the quarterback I trust. There's not a guy I want more in the final minutes of a football game than that guy right there. Even with the peaks and valleys of this season. When it came down to the final 2 minutes of games, when we needed the Chiefs to come through, the Panthers game, Chargers game, the Raiders game, you name it. Who got it done? It was that guy. It was Patrick Mahomes again and again and again. Maybe it's not his best statistics season, but the way that he's put this team on his back, credit where credit's due. Who do you believe is the Chiefs MVP this season? Give me a name that comes to mind. Is it Mahomes? I think defensively, Trent McDuffie has a strong case, especially the way he's played the last few weeks as well. Who comes to mind for you? Weigh in, let us know in the comments section. All right, got time for about 1 or 2 more here. Peter writes, of all the games this season, what's your best Chiefs game so far of the regular season? I'm going to put this kind of 2 parts. The best performance was what we just saw on Wednesday in the win against the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's the best they've played as a team all season. The most exciting game, I still think, was the Baltimore game. Week 1. That came down to the very end, the back and forth between Mahomes and Lamar and all that. So that's how I'd break those down. But it's been a fun year, no question about it. Cole with the final question. Who do you think the Chiefs will play in the divisional round? I know it depends on the wild card results. So that is a very good question. And now that we know that the Chiefs will have the number 1 seed, the NFL playoffs, they actually have their stuff figured out when it comes to a playoff format, unlike college football, where the number 1 seed is guaranteed to play the lowest remaining seed. So with that said, you know, I could very well see the Chargers or Broncos potentially pulling an upset in the wild card round, and then you're playing the Chargers or Broncos in the divisional round coming to Kansas City. I think that's likely to happen, that one of the two, if not both, finds a way to pull off an upset in the wild card round, you're looking at playing a divisional foe in the divisional round. I think that's possible. Thanks for joining us here at the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Subscribe now for continuing Chiefs coverage. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.